60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. So keep them active and eating well every day. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.
Welcome to This Week with Sheriff Dave Phalen, a weekly program right here on Lancaster, Time Warner, Channel 9, and also our friends over at 90.9 FM, WFCO Radio, and certainly appreciate you, the viewers and listeners, joining us each and every week, and the folks here at Fairfield Christian Academy that put this program together each and every week. Special guest this afternoon is Jeneanne Nelson with the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office. Welcome, Jeneanne.
Hi, Sheriff.
And I think I probably should start by letting everyone know that Jeneanne is our Civilian of the Year.
Yes, I am.
And so that's pretty impressive. The Civilian of the Year was nominated by some of her peers. It goes before a nominating committee, and she was chosen, so certainly well deserved. Tell us a little bit about you, your background.
Well, I spent 4 years in the U.S. Navy, was a petty officer and structure and hydraulics mate. And then once I got out with honorable discharge, I started as an office manager at a furniture company up in Columbus and applied down here, and have been here for the last 12 years.
Last 12 years. So you were hired about the time I became sheriff.
Shortly before, yes.
That's right. So you've been with us a long time in the civil division. And for some of our viewers and listeners out there that may not know, what are some of the things that take place in the civil division of the sheriff's office?
Well, civil division and the fiscal division have kind of been combined over the last few years. But generally, they handle the records and reports for incidents and accidents. Individuals can come in and get copies of both through our office. And we do service papers for subpoenas and any other court documentations that need to go out. We also do sheriff sales, and I do concealed carry and a bunch of little extra things like fingerprinting and background checks. And
we're going to be talking either this week or next week a lot about the carry and conceal firearm permits, because that really has become quite a job for you and a job for the sheriff's office, because it was something that when you started 12 years ago, we had no idea that was going to become a sheriff's office responsibility. Right. If a citizen's out there and they would like a copy of a report or something like that, how do they go about getting that?
Well, they can come in anytime to our office at 108 North High Street in the Detective Bureau building and pick up a copy. It's 10 cents per page for incidents and accidents, and for incidents. For accidents is now $4 because an Ohio law went through. Mm-hmm. And we can usually get them for them pretty quick when they come in. Sometimes it may take a little bit because the deputies are still working on the reports.
What's the most common type of call you get within the civil division, Jeneanne?
Right now, it's scheduling concealed carry report.
That's popular, huh?
Applications, yes. The appointments that we do for concealed carry, we take Monday through Friday from 9 to 1 o'clock. So a lot of times in the morning hours, the other girls are answering questions for reports and just general information for attorneys' offices, mm-hmm. prosecutors' offices, requiring reports as well.
Is it good to call ahead if you want to come in the civil division, or can you just show up during the daytime and people are going to try to help you?
Well, the only thing that we take appointments for is the concealed carry. So anytime, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, they can come in and we can help them.
Well, let's talk a little bit about carrying concealed firearm, because now how many years has that been in place?
Since 2004.
2004. Mm-hmm. And I think that at least when they were going to put this program in place, there was a lot of controversy. I think there was two sides of the of the issue. The first side would be the people that said, if you start issuing people concealed firearms, you're going to have the OK Corral. People are going to be shooting at each other in the street. They're going to get mad. They're going to be pulling guns out and those kind of things. And the other side said, you know, if we allow people to carry a concealed firearm, what will happen is it's going to reduce crime. People are going to be afraid to be, you know, robbing people or breaking people's house because they have the weapons. Do you have any indication that any of those two have happened?
Well, I think that the misconceptions in the beginning were that people didn't realize the extensive background checks that we have to do for each individual coming in. You know, they're law-abiding citizens in general who just want a lawful way to carry.
Right.
And most of them just want it for protection of themselves or their families. And I really haven't heard anything as far as anyone, you know, going crazy on it, but it seems that it's been pretty peaceful. There are just people who want to feel protected when they need it. And most of them don't even carry all the time, they've told me.
Yeah, that's kind of been my sense, that it probably hasn't really, I don't know that it's necessarily reduced crime, and I don't think that there's been these major issues that people thought would happen.
Right.
Now, how many, and I don't know if you'll know this or not, but do you know how many other states have permits, or how many areas are allowed to carry in?
Most states do. I know that there's only a handful that do not have a concealed carry.
Is that right?
Law. Ohio only has reciprocal agreements with, I believe it's 23 states. It changes every so often, but the reciprocal agreements are a little different for each state. And as far as how many or what exact states, I couldn't tell you.
Now, for our viewers and listeners out there, what does that mean, other states that have an agreement? Does that mean that they can cross-carry depending on the states, right?
Right. They can carry into other states if they're traveling with their families. They can carry following the same rules as the state that they're passing through.
Okay.
But they will recognize the Ohio concealed carry license.
Now, I know early on they had some restrictions in a motor vehicle, and this was really somewhat confusing, I think, not only to law enforcement but to citizens. And they've changed some of that, right?
September of last year, they wiped all of that out of the law. So basically, it's the safe carry. They don't exactly specify now that they have to have it in a locked box, and they don't specify that they have to have it on their person in a holster in plain sight like it was originally. Mm-hmm. Now it's basically safe carry. They just have to carry it so that they are not allowing anyone else in the car to get a hold of that gun who is not a concealed carry holder.
So this started in 2004. Mm-hmm. And what's the result? What effect has it had on the sheriff's office? What kind of volume of permits have we had to issue? And can anybody come in and get a permit, or how does this work?
Well, we've issued quite a few, 7,700 over the last, since 2004.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yes. Keeping me busy.
Yeah.
2009, there's a big flex. We did 1,500 in 2009, and we could actually reach that again this year. It's been very busy.
And I think to some extent, the presidential election affected the increase in the volume, didn't it?
It really does seem to
When President Obama was elected, all of a sudden you saw a spike. And
it did. In November of 2008 is when it started picking up quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. And when they are issued these permits, what is the longevity of the permit? How long do they have to get them? How often do they have to get them renewed?
It's every 5 years now. That law changed in 2007, so we actually had a year where we had less renewals.
Okay.
And then this year is when it picks up again from those people that went from 4 years to 5 years.
Okay, some folks are out there, so what do? They say, I think I want to be able to carry a concealed firearm permit. And the other thing, what kind of thought process do you need to kind of go through before you decide this is something you want to do?
It's a huge responsibility. They need to realize the laws. They need to read the booklet and make sure that it's a responsibility that they want to handle. That would be my suggestion. Then they're going to want to take the concealed carry courses. There are a lot of courses out there from, usually check with your local range, and they can give you individuals, or the range offers it. And they will talk to you about the importance of what you need to do and how to follow the laws. And they'll also do 2 hours of range time with the 10 hours of classroom time. Once you have that done, you complete the application. Give us a call. We'll set you up with an appointment.
And so there's 12 hours of class and a couple hours of shooting. Is there a proficiency they have to reach with their guns?
There's not a proficiency with the guns. It's up to the instructor if they believe that they are competent enough to complete the course.
So actually, if the instructors saw that they were not, couldn't hit the side of a barn, they could not.
They could not issue their certificate. That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, out of these group, male and female, what's been the mix?
It's really surprising because there aren't that many more males than females. I mean,
that is really surprising.
They really are not even, but just from sight and people coming in, it's pretty close.
What's the disqualifiers?
The disqualifiers are any felony, any drug charges, any domestic violence within the last 3 years, any misdemeanor offensive violence within the last 3 years, 2 misdemeanor offenses of violence ever.
Okay.
And falsifying your application.
Okay, so there are some areas out there that there's some things that people are disqualified. Mm-hmm. And that's probably a good thing to check before you go through the class, right?
That would be. I mean, you should probably know what you've been arrested for in the past, but it would be a good thing to double check.
And have we lost some people that have gone through? A few?
Very few have been denied, but they're usually people that don't remember that, 50 years ago that they were arrested. It's not like it was recent. That it was a disqualifying offense.
So if they were arrested when they were 20 years old and they're 60, that could still hold them back, yes. Even though maybe in the interim they've been a good citizen.
Exactly.
Wow. Well, we're just about out of time. I'd like to have you come back next week, Jeneanne. We talk about some other things in the Civil Division, a little bit more about the CCW. So can you join us next week?
Sure can.
Do appreciate it. The Civilian of the Year, Jeneanne Nelson, with us this afternoon, and just a terrific employee, as are the other employees within the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office. I do appreciate you, the listeners and the viewers, the folks over at Time Warner, LSN, Channel 9, and also at 90.9 FM, WFCO Radio, that give the Sheriff's Office an opportunity to share a lot of different things that go on within the Sheriff's Office day in and day out. Jeneanne will be back next week. In the weeks and months to come, we'll have people that take care of the litter patrol. We're going to be having one of our deputies that takes care of weighing the trucks. A lot of different people coming in, some of our detectives. We're going to certainly have Eric Brown back soon with our major crimes unit to kind of update us on the narcotics trends that we're seeing throughout Fairfield County. So until next week, same time, same place, this is yours truly, Dave Phalen. God bless, and we'll see you right here next week.
Hey.